I'm home. I came home yesterday. It wasn't a simple day. There's been a lot of unexpected things happen. So I'm going to, just so that I can put this up today and get back in touch with you all, then I'll start recapping and going back to some of the surprising events that took place. So I can walk without my walker, and it's 2 weeks. 2 weeks tomorrow. I'm walking with no walker, slowly and very, very carefully. You hear people say, "Oh, I wish I'd done it sooner." Everybody says that, gets quoted saying that. What you never hear is what they were saying weeks or months earlier when they were in like the first couple of days after this. They're saying, "What have I done? I don't, this isn't what I thought. I don't want it. Why did I do this? This is awful. This is unbearable." Because, I mean, it's horrible pain. It's not like anything you've ever heard of. You don't hear people talking about that. It's like after the baby's born, they're happy with the baby. They're not thinking about the labor and the childbirth anymore. But I'll tell you, it ain't fun. Plus, I had undue complications with the anesthesia, or unexpected. Well, I knew I don't do well with anesthetic, but it was pretty awful, and they were at a loss of what to do with me, and then we were like yo-yoing back and forth between this might get her out of that, and whoops, no, that was the wrong thing, you know, like we've got to counterbalance that. And that went on for several days, and some moments were quite terrifying. There was one time when I was in this room, and one of my daughters was in the room, and they asked me if I knew my name. Who are you? What is your name? I knew my name, but I couldn't say it. This is not a place you want to go. And then I see across the room, there's my daughter looking at me with just this, you know, I don't know the word for it. And everybody's looking at me, and I'm struggling to say the name. I know my name. I can't say it for whatever reason. And then, you know, you start wondering, is that really true? Could I really not say it? Maybe I could have said it, but I wouldn't say it. And if that's true, what does that all mean? I don't know. Anyway, it went from bad to worse. After that, the administrator there, whoever was talking to me, pointed to my daughter and said, "Who is this?" And I couldn't say. It was awful. It was awful. Because, and I'm looking at her, and, you know, with Carillion photography or something like that, I'm sure they would have been able to see these bars of energy going between our eyes. I mean, I was just like plummeting into her eyes, and, you know, like, I know you, I know who you are, you know, and then there was this element of, help me, somebody help me, and she's looking at me with this just like terror of what's happening, and you know, like, know me, Mom. Oh, it was awful. And as a result, plus there's all in the shadow, there's this thing that I know it, and I could say it. I can say this, but I didn't say it. I couldn't say it. I could and I couldn't. Oh, I don't ever want to go back there. It makes me cry just to think of it. And as a result, and I think there's this part of me that thinks I could have said it. And then, of course, I really start having to deal with that because I didn't say it. The next 2 or 3 days I was submitted to horrendous tests, lots of blood draws, because they thought that I had lost something. And, it's complicated. And the layers of the brain, I mean, it's also complicated. Anyway, that's the anesthesia chapter.